Because I've like dropped the ball a lot. Like I think just you get to that holiday end of the year and you're like, oh, like I can relax, but you can't. Like into stuff, and I've always just incorporated around something that I've enjoyed. Because if you're not enjoying it, then why do it? Like yeah, so usually you'll get a sample, and then like your samples are usually I think they're like 4 times the cost of the original product plus then your shipping. So because they need to make money out of it, so they can't just go, I'll give it to you for the price that they're advertising. And
Are you putting your glasses on now?
Yeah, you put them on. Oh, yeah, start it.
Yeah, right. Done. Welcome everyone. Another episode of Business Refresh podcast. We have a special guest here today, Stephen Bliss, a serial entrepreneur, and an e-commerce guru, pretty much.
oh, I wouldn't call myself an e-commerce guru, but thanks boys, thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Well, thanks for being our first guest.
Yeah.
No, honestly, pleasure. Like for everything, you guys. I know you guys from school and stuff. So it's been good to keep in touch, and everything you've helped me achieve so far with my business is the least I can do.
100%.
Some very nice looking shades you got on there.
Thanks, boys. Getting straight into it, I see. Yeah. So I guess you want me to talk about the business.
I guess so. But before then, pause. All right.
Yeah, so tell us about your business, your journey, everything. Like, how did it all start?
Yeah. So basically, it was just an idea. Obviously the business is called Blank Accessories. And basically it's just an accessories brand. Starts off as sunglasses. And that just all started out in the piss, having a few drinks. And I'd always want to wear sunglasses when I go out because I hated when people looked at me, because I'm a bit of an odd creature when I'm out and I'm drinking. I like to just be a bit out there, a bit elaborate. So yeah, when I put the sunnies on, I can't see them, they can't see me, especially at night. So I can be a bit more myself. That's what the whole thing was. And I always used to go out, and I'd used to have like all these girls come up and just, can I have your sunnies? Can I have your sunnies? Or just rip them off my head, and then they'd get snapped. So I got sick of going into Cotton On every weekend and buying new pairs of sunnies. So I thought, well, why not?
Why not have some? Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Greatest example I've heard of you seeing the market and the demand of a story of
Yeah.
you keep getting your product stolen from
Yeah,
you.
literally. So just the
I love
product kept
it.
getting stolen, and yeah, so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go off and look into designing my own sunnies and getting like all the different colors and stuff, and then yeah, got some prototypes in, loved them, got some good feedback from like some of my friends, like they gave some prototypes out too, like very good, like and they're not going to break, they're not, all that sort of stuff, and then that led me to placing my first order.
How was that though? Was that scary?
Yeah, that's like a big scary thing. So obviously, like I think even the scary thing before that was creating an ABN and becoming a sole trader, and I just never had to do anything like that before. So it was all like learning process. So obviously it's logging on, doing all that, and then it was placing your first order. Like you look at it and it's like, that's a lot of money. If this doesn't go, I'm stuck with a lot of sunglasses. But in my eyes, it was kind of like, you know what? If I place it and it like doesn't go well, my sunnies are getting stolen every week anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
A bit of a backlog,
I've got all the backups there.
How big was that first order?
I think it was 6 colors, about 25 to 30 of each color. So yeah, it was thinking back, like I probably shouldn't have done 6 colors straight away. Probably should have kept it a bit smaller, maybe just made the variety a little bit less. But at the same time, when I was going through, it was like variety is everything. You're not going to find like, you should stick to your blacks and your whites and whatnot. But I was like, nah, like I like my leopard prints. I want to be out there, like all that sort of stuff. But probably going back a bit more, I probably would have preferred to just open up with 2 main colors and then go, what sort of going off there, then adding new colors to the collection instead of just going 6, selling out of one color and being left with a shitload of the other colors. It's just wasn't practical. So I think scaling it down again, and I think that's what I've learnt going on as well. But yeah, so obviously that's the business model. It was just always accessories. it hasn't gotten anything further than sunnies at the moment. That's because the business took a bit of a turn in another direction.
Which we
Which
can
was
talk about it a bit
yeah,
later. But
we'll talk
yeah,
a bit later. So, but yeah, at the moment it's just accessories and just sunnies, and that's where it all come from.
So where'd you like that initial supplier? Where did you find them? Like, how'd you
Yeah,
basically decide that's the one you wanted to go to with the first
so a
batch in
lot of
terms of?
research in that. So obviously everyone would do those ones like AliExpress and all that sort of stuff. So definitely started there and whatnot, and then just ordered like a few different samples over and tested them. Like, nah, not good enough. Yes, not good enough. Whatever. So it was a lot of trial and error. And just finding the right people and using certain suppliers going, hey, like, do you have a friend that might know that? And they just put you onto other people. So that's just how that all came about. Just don't ever settle for the first one you might get and think that's the best thing, because there's always better out there.
If you're comfortable and if you know, it's fine. Like what were the numbers like? The testing, sampling of products, like how much that sort of cost and like those
Yeah,
sort
so
of things
usually
with batches.
you'll get a sample, and then like your samples are usually I think they're like 4 times the cost of the original product plus then your shipping. So because they need to make money out of it, so they can't just go, I'll give it to you for the price that they're advertising, and then because then they're going to make no money, you could just go, yeah, I want like 10, and only sell 10, you know. So they up the price a lot. So what you might pay for 10 is what you might pay for in a bulk order of like 50 and 60. So like it's and then you got to pay your shipping on top. So it's pretty expensive. I'm pretty sure like most of my samples, like my orders for just like like 2 pairs and whatnot, were close to like 250, $300 just to
holy.
get over here. So it's a very expensive, and that's like the one thing, like you commit to those 2 pairs. It was like even before Blank, I wanted to do another. I had another business idea, and it was like shaker bottles. And getting one of those in was like $150. I was like, fuck yeah, this is
For
great.
one.
Yeah, just for one. I was like, this is
Wow.
the best shaker bottle I've ever had in my
It
life.
must be amazing.
Yeah,
What
and
can it
then
do for you?
yeah, and then obviously that didn't go through. I didn't go for that business, but like getting that in, I was like, that's a lot of money to spend on one bottle. Like, obviously over time, like it was just a bit of a. It probably would have went well if I committed to it, but I think after you spent that much money on one thing, you kind of. That's where I think a lot of people go, this is going to be too expensive, or this is a big risk. $150 isn't much, so you can spend that on a night out. I think that's like the older I got, the more I learned, like with business and stuff like that. Like money comes back, sort of thing. Like, so even if I chuck in the risk of spending $300 on 2 pairs of sunnies, I could spend that in a weekend in another business that makes money like no tomorrow on alcohol or whatever. Like, why not just invest in myself and push myself? But yeah, so getting all those samples and stuff in, it was a bit of a stressful.
Is there any other like challenges you encountered during that like initial stage?
Um, yeah, like obviously you got to look at your competition, and that's like another thing. So obviously sunnies are everywhere. Like
Yeah.
you can see all those like Sunglass Hut, all those little servo sunnies. Like it's a pretty big market to get into, and like it's a lot of competition. And what's going to make mine better than theirs? I guess
Yeah.
that's where you need to build your brand up around what's going to cater for everyone else. So you know my brand and my motto is be yourself. Like when you put these sunnies on, I just want people to be themselves. I don't want people to go like into their shell or like anything like that. I want them to get the craziest color they can find in my brand and go, I want to wear those because they look cool, and that's just fucking me,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's awesome. And I think like you touched on something like very important there is like the sort of mind shift switch you had, like as you said, having no business experience and like those first few orders, like
yeah,
that amount of money seemed really scary at the start.
yeah,
But then like as you said, you sort of it's reframed. It's like, well, you would have spent that on a night on the piss, but now it's like, well, actually, you're spending this money to invest in yourself,
yeah,
and like you're looking at it from what's the potential return I can get back on this, which is really sky's the limit in terms of what you learn from that, and yeah, obviously the potential sales of actually selling the products, of course, as
yeah.
well. So no, I think that's all. When did that change for you with the business? Like when did that? How long into having the business did that sort of change over?
Like what do you mean by change
Like
over?
in terms of when you bought the first set of products, and
Yeah,
as you said, like oh, you looked at it before, like, oh, there's a lot of money I spent, but actually it's like, oh, well, actually you've invested this into yourself. Like,
Yeah.
what was the process there for you in the business where you're like, oh, this is something I actually like really passionate about and want to keep going, and it's worth putting the money into keep going and trying.
Yeah, I think like a lot of it was outside support as well. So obviously all my friends and stuff were like, I had a really good mate, like Jack. He was very like, when I had the Sunnies, he's just like, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna be the face of your brand. Like that's and I was like, sweet, I've got someone that believes in me. I've got someone that wants to do it and will back me up if it goes well or if it doesn't. I think that's it too. You got to surround yourself with people that are gonna push you and believe in you. Like you don't want to be in an environment where you go, I've got this really good idea, and they go, yeah, you've had 50 ideas beforehand and you've got nowhere. Like you just need to put yourself around people that also going to believe in you and whatnot. Like, but at the same time, like I sort of thrive on when people say you're not going to do that, and then I go and do it. It's a good little thing like that too. Have that little bit of a drive in me. Depending on the person that tells me, sometimes you get a little bit taken back when some people say like you're dreaming, and you're kind of like, oh shit. But you just got to push back past all that noise of everyone on the outside noise of telling you can't do it, and just give it a go. So I think like that was like the big thing, is having that support from like friends and family, like going like, yep, this is good. Like I remember I got the first prototypes in, I did weird colours, and my mum's like, they look fucking and then I was like, yeah, for you it does. Like they don't suit you and you don't like it, but I know people are gonna enjoy these sort of thing. Like my mum wasn't like very big on like, yeah, great work or anything. It was kind of like, oh, I just don't see what you're doing here. And then obviously people more my age or a bit younger were like, these are fucking sick. This is such a great idea. And this could be something big. So yeah, obviously there's that gap and whatnot. And, I was always thinking like, me committing to something like this should make mum sit there and go like, great work, are you doing something? But I think she was just more naive and worried that I'm investing so much money into something that might not go anywhere. So having like I said, but then having my friends that support me and everything was like probably the saving grace.
Yeah, I 100% like what you're saying there, and I think we can speak for all of us. Most people we know are employed. They don't run their own business. They're not really trying to think, or they don't want to think that way. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but just like me and Val started this podcast, I think, because we share a lot of similar beliefs, and the idea is that we want to work for ourselves and things like that. So it's hard for people who you surround yourself with that might not fully understand why you're doing this, because it is a risk at the end of the day. Like this money that you've spent on the business, it's possible that
Never see it again.
never see it again, and they're just going, "Oh, why'd you do that?" Like, could save up for a
But I've
nice
wasted
TV.
I've wasted much more money on stupider things.
Going out,
Pardon?
like
Yeah,
going out and stuff
going
like
out,
that.
sex toys, all that sort of stuff. Like you just waste money on like stupid things. Like, but like I said, money comes back, and that's how I looked at it. I was like, this could be, a couple of $100 here or $1,000 here, and then but if I sell them, I only need to sell X amount of money, X amount of them to make that money back, and then the rest is like profit. So my goal was like, okay, if I get these in, all I need to do is sell this many pairs. As long as I sell this many pairs, I'm going to be happy because I'm going to break even. Even if I'm left with another 30 at the end of it, I'm like, you know what, that's 30 that I can sell, or I can just keep and go. As long as I broke even, that was like the goal.
So when did you start the business again? How long ago?
2021 it would have been.
So about 3
Because
years.
2022 was, last year was our first year in September, was our first birthday. So this year will be our second birthday.
Yeah.
So 2022 then. 2022.
22, yeah.
Yeah, September 2022.
It's about a year and a half.
Yeah, about going to a year and a bit, yeah.
What was your initial strategy for trying to market them and sell things? Like what was some of the stuff you tried at the start?
I think the biggest thing is don't believe everyone. A lot of people say, I'll buy those, and you're like, fuck, you rely on that? You rely on that? You're like, oh yeah, like sweet, all these people are going to buy my Sunnies. Like, I've only ordered like 100. Fuck, I might need to order 200. And then you kind of go, or add a little bit more, then you release a product and no one buys them. And you kind of like, for that first like couple of hours, you're like, no one's bought anything yet. But
And you're wondering, have I successfully launched a product or not?
That's it. So, but like, my biggest thing was like at the start, I didn't want to put any money into marketing. I wanted to grow organically. I wanted to start small, and grow organically. So I knew the people that were buying them were there to either support me or like the product. I didn't want people to jump in there and just buy something that they just like, they felt like they had to buy, or like it's being marketed to them. So I'm just going to buy it because it's being marketed to me. I just wanted to grow a good fan base, which is what we've had, and that's the customer return on that has been like great. And then what we can give back to those people from like an organic point of view is like they've supported me from the start. So all the money that comes in goes back into those people, in a way. So yeah, like marketing and starting up was like, let's just share it with all my friends and family.
On Facebook and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Instagram, mainly Instagram. So I think just Instagram has been like my go-to. Like I haven't really pushed on anything else other than Instagram. Like TikTok don't really push on. Have got it, post a few videos, get a few thousand views here and there, but that's it. Like I don't push anything on it. But Instagram has been like my big go-to. That and like obviously the website where we push them to go to buy stuff. But even like recently now, like having Instagram shop being approved for that, and now it's just so accessible that they just can click what they see in a picture and go, I like those on that person, click, and then they buy them from Instagram. So Instagram has probably been like my go-to. I haven't pushed anywhere else.
Nice. A little quick thing. For a little fun perspective, right? Could you narrate a day in the life of your best-selling accessory, glasses, the best one, and what it would look like from the shelf to reaching the customer, and what would they use it for?
Yeah. Obviously, I guess the order comes in. I store them in like my shed. I have like shelves, all of them coloured, every container labelled, so I know where I'm going and what I'm grabbing. And then yeah, obviously order comes in on Shopify. I'll get the notification. Plan is to ship them within I give myself 48 hours to pack it, ship it, basically. You from the very first day, well, when it all started coming in, I was just every single day at the post office, just sending off. But obviously, just walk in, very, very
Every day.
stupid
That's
way to
great.
do it, but just excited in a way of just like, cool, these orders are coming in, and these are the things that like. There's a lot I didn't know. Like I said, like I could have just went, hey guys, we're going to ship every Friday. So that means I'm only going to the post office once. It wasn't going in and going, shit, I've got this order. Yep, grab them, put them in a bag, label it, write it out, take it to the post office and do it. I should have just went, okay, orders get shipped every Wednesday and Friday. And then it's like they place Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, done. That's the way it should have, and I still haven't even done that or set it up like that. I just haven't got to that point yet. I still think I haven't grown or sell as much as I want to be able to get a courier to come over to home and pick it all up. So I don't mind it. I feel like it's a reminder when I have to pack things myself and go ship them myself and stuff like that. That it's like a reminder to me that like you still only so small, and like you still need to grind every single day to get these customers. So yeah, but then obviously it's great when you see the customer get it and they've taken a photo and they tag us on Instagram and they're wearing them, they're enjoying it. I think that's like the best thing. I think the biggest one that made me realize like how big it got was you get tagged like after the first 2 weeks of like everyone buying it. Like, all it took was one close friend in that group to buy it and get it and go, look what I got. Then everyone sort of was like, I need a pair. And then it grew. And then it wasn't until there was a festival on the Gold Coast. I think it was Spilt Milk in 2022. And then everyone's just uploading their photos in their festival outfits with our sunnies.
That's
and
sick.
tagging
That's
us.
awesome.
Yeah. And I was like, this is going somewhere. Like, this
How
is
did
what
that make
this-
you feel?
Yeah, really good. Like, and it was like a thing of like, oh, this has got wheels. This can go further. This
Yeah.
can take me places if I stick to it. And that by that time I dropped 2 different styles of sunnies as well, and it wasn't just the one style getting posted. It was both of them and all the different colors, and it just really worked with, because the second set I think I dropped 9 colors, so 6 and 9. So it was really good. So and that just covered and catered for like pretty much every colored outfit you could wear. And just seeing it on the Spilt Milk, and then a realization of like we were only 2 or 3 months in, and it's made that big of an impact. It was really cool to see. But then that also made me go, well, how and where do I want to take the business? What direction I want to go in? And that was a big thing of like, okay, cool. Maybe I don't want to be a beachy accessory. I don't want to be like an everyday accessory. I want to target my audience for people that go to festivals.
Yeah.
And that made me think. So I just adapted. I'm like, okay, if my sunnies are getting wear to festivals, it's for a reason. They're colourful, they're cool, all that sort of stuff. So how about I just keep designing my sunnies to go into that type of thing. So my target audience turn to people that go to raves, people that go to festivals, people that go to like bush stuffs and all that sort of stuff. So
Like boiler rooms.
yeah,
all that
boiler
kind of
rooms, all
stuff.
that sort of stuff, because that's just what people do now. And, you know, you go to an outdoor festival and you forget your sunnies, like, shit, not good. Okay. Or you take too many pills, your eyes get big. Oh, I don't want people to see my eyes like that. Shit, I want to cover them up. Or what happened to me, I go out, someone goes, I like those sunnies, steals them and runs off. And then I need sunnies. So I was like, okay, there's a market there of, let me get a good amount of sunnies behind me, and then I'm going to talk to a festival or whatever and go and sell sunnies at that festival. And that's where my mind just shifted to straight away of like, I need to get out of this beachy look or whatever and go into, let's cater for the bigger, wider audience. Like, because festivals can get 10 to 20,000.
Huge, yeah.
I think it's also like really like what you said is like you sort of found your market because like there's so many different sunglass companies. But like you found your point of
Yeah.
like your unique market
Yeah.
is like festivals. Like this is if you go to a festival, you want a pair of blank sunglasses,
Yeah,
right? Like
and that's it. Like, because like I said, in the whole thing, the motto, be yourself. Like, you go to a festival with your friends and you be an absolute dick. Like, you're a bit, you're very different to what you are with your friends than you are with most other people. Well, I am, me
True,
anyway, like
yeah.
I am, so like, and that's what it is like you go to a festival, you put these on, I want you to be, I want to see photos of you, or like doing stupid shit, or running through a thing and jumping over a fence, or doing crazy things with these sunnies on, because that's you being you, like, and that's, I feel like you become yourself and you're more yourself when you are at a festival out like that. So, yeah, or if you're on illicit drugs.
Fair. I love that. I love that. All right. We're talking about all the highs, but how about some low points in the journey that you've had, and how did you like kind of overcome that? Because that's huge in business, and that could be like a make or break for a lot of people.
Yeah,
If you
like I said, I
encounter
think
any.
support from like some people, like you expect them to jump on behind you and go like, "Well done," and give you a pat on the back. Like I said with mum, there was like not that support from her at the start, and it was kind of like a, why, like, why are you not? But then I realised over time it's just a place of care. She just didn't want me to invest in a lot of money that I should have been or could have been using into buying a house or setting up X, Y, Z. So that was like a big, like a, oh shit, like mum doesn't really agree with it, but my friends do. What was going to mean more? It would have meant more if mum believed in it. But obviously, I've got my friends here that are supporting it and are seeing what it can become as well. So that was a bit of a low point. But mum eventually has jumped on board now and supports it and stuff like that after it. Like, it took a while because obviously the business, which we haven't fully spoken about, has gone in a different direction as well as Sunny's. But we can get to that.
Straight into it, I reckon.
Yeah, let's
Jump
go.
in.
Yeah.
So
Talk
obviously
about it.
now Blank Accessories is also we do events. We're basically like an events company as well. So I host like raves and warehouse parties, little like on the Gold Coast and soon to be Brisbane. And yeah, I remember telling mum the first time I wanted to host a warehouse party. It wasn't very a good conversation. It was kind of like, well, great, but like what the fuck for? Like, she didn't see the what I could see. I could see if I put this cool party on, the return of it, the exposure of it, X, Y, Z. So, because all I'd do is I'd go home and go, yeah, I'm putting this massive party on, like, gonna have all this and all that. But she was worried, like, if someone died or all those sort of things, like, have I got those things in place? And obviously I did. I just didn't, when you've got something new and you've got something fun to talk about, you never talk about the logistics side of it. You just talk about what you're excited for.
Fun parts, not
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
boring behind the
Yeah,
scenes sort of
exactly.
stuff you need
And
to
like,
get around.
if she's not asking those questions, I'm not going to answer. I'm just going to tell her how great it is to, like, I'm doing X, Y, Z. So yeah, but then obviously one day she's like, I just don't understand it. You tell me somewhere. I explained to her everything. And she sort of just went, okay, if this is what you want to do, I think her growing up too, like, people that throw parties at 28 years old, 27 years old, they've kind of not got their life together or know what they're doing. And here I am, I'm just trying to provide a space and environment for people to party safely and enjoy music. So yeah, anyway, like, coming up to that first warehouse party, she just jumped on board and was like, I'll support you. And I said to her, I was like, look, if it doesn't go as good as what I want it to do, I'll go out, I'll get a full-time job and I'll pull my head back in, sort of thing. Anyway, she came and obviously it was a really good success. The whole party, everyone like walked in, was like, I wasn't expecting anything like this. They all just thought it'd be like a garage with music and that, but it was obviously a really nice warehouse party and very
organised.
You're very organised. You boys came. I don't think you did. No, Val did come.
Next one.
Yeah, next one.
For sure.
Val came and obviously it was very well done. Very professional and security and all that sort of stuff and very looked after.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think one of the business that building relationships too with partners and stuff. So Hard Fizz and Red Bull and stuff have been really cool to work with and help push our name out there.
But when was the first warehouse?
March. So it would have been September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months after opening, put our first warehouse party in, and that took until so basically the Spilt Milk I think was November, December where the Sunnies
2022.
are. Yeah, 2022, and that's where I was like, okay, there's a market of what we were just talking about, and I was like, that's where I want to go. So I reached out to a festival that all us boys used to go to at the top of the casino on the Gold Coast called Skin Deep.
Yeah.
And I just, I was like, fuck it. If you don't ask, you don't know. And that's probably my biggest thing is you don't ask, you don't know. So I reached out and just sent him a message, said, hey, mate, I'd love to pitch an idea to you. I want to give you 100 free pairs of sunnies, any colour you want with, X, Y, Z. And just have a stall up in your thing. So, the first 100 people get a free pair and then we have a stall there. And anyway, got on a call with him and locked it in. And that was a big thing of shit, I'm in a festival.
This is possible.
Yeah, this is, my dream is where I wanted the business to go is going in that direction. I was like, this is going to be sick. So obviously it was around Christmas time. It was a bit hard. He was away, I was away and getting it all together. And then eventually we got the sunnies in, but he didn't get back to me in time at a certain thing, so I didn't get to get his logo on it because I was like, do you want your logo on it, do you not? All this sort of talking because it was kind of a yes, no, yeah. Anyway, I had to place the order on the day, so they weren't going to get here by the 1st of January. And so they all came in without his logo on it, and then we had to decide, because they didn't have his logo on it, we couldn't give out the 100 free pairs. I was still happy to do it. I was like, I'll give you the 100 free pairs, but he just wanted them to be Skin Deep logoed sunnies. I was like, fair enough, that makes sense, but unfortunately, there was that breakdown in communication, and that was probably both our fault trying to push something so quick. If we obviously had a bit more time, we probably could have nailed it and done it a lot better. And it is something that was their last Skin Deep too. They only came back this year, so 2024.
True.
They went over and did stuff over in America and stuff, I'm pretty sure, or Europe. So that was their last one. So they've just come back, and I think the next time I'm going to try and get in contact with them again and do it properly, do it really, really well. But that was a big eye-opener working with someone as well. That was a bit different, working with a partner and going yep, got to meet this criteria in X, Y, Z.
Collaborating and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, collaborating. I think that was a cool thing to do. And just, got those sunnies in and we did a market. That was really successful on that day. A lot of people coming up buying the sunnies at the rave. And like I said, people, they go to a rave, they forget their sunnies. Shit, there's a sunglass, I'll go buy them. Or you've got a really cool pair of sunnies that you've got 10 people wearing. Someone's going to think, where are you getting those from? Where are you getting those from? Out there, where they all come. And we just made so much money from that as well. You get to that point where it gets to a certain point at night time and obviously you have to pack up. We learnt that pretty quick. You can't have them out all night. You've got to get to a certain point, which was good. But you worked at your peak times. Looking at the report the next day, I was like, yeah, I could see why that peaked there and why it didn't peak here.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But yeah, then after that, I was just like, okay, I don't want to just sit here and sell them at an event. I want to run my own. And then that's where I've now jumped into the event side thing and holding my own parties now. So yeah, we've done 2 warehouse parties and 2 rooftop parties at venues. And then, Brisbane looks like to be the next venue to go into. I want to bring it into the Brizzy ways. Brizzy's got a good taste for music and stuff. So that's where I'm heading now.
So how did, for that first one, how did you go about marketing for it? What was the process like?
Marketing for it was just Instagram. It didn't put any ad spend behind it. It was just, I built a good fan base. I think in the first 3 months, I think we got up to close to 1,000 followers pretty quick, which is hard to do organically. Obviously, some people think, oh, 1,000 followers, oh, how easy. But like as a small business with just your friends and that, like jumping on board
And in a small community
in a
on
small
Gold
community,
Coast.
yeah. So that as well, like you're only sharing to your friends, and then they're sharing friends of friends of friends, and then usually it takes 2 or 3 times to see them post about that product for the other person to jump on and do it. And then I just noticed, like after our first warehouse party, like doing that, like I said, like it was just basically like a big party for my mates. Like there was a few people we didn't know rock up, and it was kind of like, well, this is cool. Like don't even know who you are, and you're here. Like how great's this? Yeah, so that happened, and then the night of everyone just sharing stories, and we just resharing them. They're sharing it, and everyone's going, "Where the fuck is this at?" Like I want to come, and then we were getting all these messages on our things, and the tickets on the door, the tickets on the door. We're like, "Fuck!" Like what do we do? Like, no, not really. Like, well, we could have fit them in, but it was kind of like no, like too bad. Like
You want
get
to
on
keep it
it early.
exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of we just turned it that way, and then yeah, like after that, our following went up like crazy again. After that first party, everyone's like, "Fuck, I want to wait to the next one." And then after that one, we got approached by a company on the Gold Coast, a rooftop bar, and they were like, "Would love for you to host an event with us." And that opened my eyes to another opportunity of like, "Oh shit!" Now we've got like established venues reaching out to us to hold an event with them because they loved what they seen at our first one. And then that just opened up another door, which then led us to like doing our first rooftop, and that was really sick too. Working with the venue again, another collaboration side of thing, and working on deals and stuff like that. And then that's just like it just kept going and kept going, and then it was like another rooftop, and then it was kind of like, okay, the rooftops, we found our problems with them. You get to a certain time, and then the decibel reader will come out. We have to turn the music down. Shit, not good. We can't keep doing these. These might be good for maybe day parties later in life. We do like an 11 till 2 or something like we don't go into the night. So there's something that I kind of just pushed aside now. Don't want to do anymore for a while until I can work out a venue and like come up with that agreement of like, let's not be able to turn the music down. Maybe day parties. Yeah, so now we just went back in, did another warehouse party recently. And that was good. That was pretty sick too. So yeah.
I think like it was one of the like like what have you like what's been some of the thing now you've done 4.
Yeah.
Like you would have learned something from each of these that you've improved upon. One of them you mentioned there, like, oh, you need to shut the thing down basically because of
Yeah.
time. It's like what other
I
things?
think warehouse party wise, the things, it was like the first one was kind of like we didn't stick to a budget, and that was probably the worst thing. It was kind of like
You kind of want to go 100%. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
well,
show you exactly what it's going to become,
yeah,
and
I kind
then
of kicked
sell
myself.
the dream.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of like fucked up in a way because like I went out and I got this I was like, yeah, fuck it, like you know what, I'll get a business loan. I'll put like some money into it. I'll be able to pay it back afterwards anyway. Great, sweet, all good. Did that, spent all that money, spent another couple thousand of my own, and then was like, oh fuck, like this is after it, and you worked out how much you actually spent. It's kind of like, oh, we spent a lot of money on this first one, and I think going into the next one, well, the next one was a rooftop party because afterwards I was like, fuck, like I just need to do something where it's going to be a lot less cost for me, but will turn out to be a good profit. Which then brought me to the venue. I was like, I don't have to pay for security, don't have to pay for, alcohol and all that sort of stuff. So I was like, kind of going a bit budgety for the next one and doing it at a venue where it was less cost for me, but a lot more gain for me because all I'd have to do is just pay DJs. That was it, and the rest is all profit. So I was like, okay, as long as I'm selling tickets for that $20-$25, very cheap price, affordable for that venue, and then all I got to do is, like, if I sell a certain amount of tickets, that pays all the DJs, done everything else after that profit, and plus I get to put my sunglasses for sale in there too, where I'll make money from as well.
What are your revenue streams from the event? Is it like the ticket sales for people coming to the event, and then also you or somebody else is there selling blank sunglasses?
Yeah, mainly me. So basically, I would sell all the sunnies. So I'd just put myself on the station as sunny, so I don't have to hire anyone. So on the first rooftop, it was like profit was all like tickets. Obviously, you just pay the DJs. Everything after whatever that cost was, everything after is profit on tickets. And then so basically, I'll just try and get a lineup together of like I think we're doing like 5 hours. So I had to put 5 DJs on. Easy, worked out the hourly rates, like, you negotiate those things, done. Okay, so it's like, sweet, the venue holds this many people, if I just sell this many tickets, that pays the DJs back, everything else after is profit. And then I was like, but plus, I have my sunnies stand there too, so that will be all just profit as well. Great, perfect. And then that first rooftop one was like, at like a big hit. Like I made a lot of money off that, which helped me pay back what I needed to pay back what I lost in the first one, because we didn't make money on the first warehouse party because we just didn't budget.
You
It was
shouldn't. You shouldn't make money on the first one. You should go all out.
yeah, and that's what we did, and that was like a big thing.
It's
Like,
also important to set budgets.
yeah,
Just speak from an accountant
Yeah, a
perspective.
bit of both.
Make sure, you know.
yeah, and that's what I mean. So, but like obviously after that first one, I was like, shit, like we did go all out, and that, and it was kind of hard to go into the next warehouse party after that, but we'll get to that after this part. But yeah, the rooftop. But like I said, we were there, we're partying, then all of a sudden the decibel reader came out, and we got promised that we could ticket all night and all that sort of stuff. And then on the day, the venue manager's like, you got to cut ticketing off at 6 o'clock. We've got to you got to bring this inside at this time and all this sort of stuff. And we can't say no, fuck you, because they can just go pack up and get out.
True.
And we're like, oh shit. So we're just like on the go, like all these promises that they said, and then they've gone back on it, and it's kind of like, well, we have no like anywhere to stand on. So it's kind of shit in that aspect, and like that's something I learned going into the next warehouse. I mean, the next rooftop was like, we kind of need to get like a contract or like an agreement, or get it in writing at least, of like in a text of like, this person said this, and that's what we did. A lot of it was like, I went and met them in person, got it all done, and then it was kind of like a, hey mate, at the end of it, like, thank you for today, just confirming X, Y, Z. I had it all confirmed down, which was great. And then that venue was really good to work with. It was just, they gave us everything we asked for and more, which was great. It just didn't turn out to be such a great event because of the lineup and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's very, very shit to see, like, you try and support certain people in an industry, and you do like for example, I did like an all girls lineup, and then you're there, and I'm like, this is going to support the girls in the DJ industry. How great is this? How good is it? It's like, it wasn't like a good on blank for supporting the girls. It was me. I was like, fuck. I had some girls jump on the decks. I was like, you guys are fucking amazing. Like, let's give them an opportunity to get out there a bit more and get noticed.
Yeah.
And so I put an all girls lineup on at this event at this place, and then you get there, and then all you hear is like the people that bought tickets are, when are the boys getting on?
Oh no.
Like, when are like, I'm here to see the boys. I'm not here to like. I'm like,
They're not read the lineup.
no. Well, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, but then we didn't sell as many tickets for that one. I was like, okay. But then the people that did come along were like, when the boys getting on, and we promoted an after party down the road, and the after party was way bigger than the actual event. And I was like, because the boys were on DJing there, and I was like, this is so shit. We just live in that world where people just don't want to appreciate certain people, or girls are still fighting for a good spot in I think these girls that are having these like really good DJs, like I highly recommend them all the time. Like, great chicks, even, like great vibe, hang around afterwards and get a beer with you and whatnot. So yeah, that was kind of a shit thing as well. So you can't, like, you gotta, that was like a big opening too. Like, I was like, I'll support the girls in this one, because it was kind of like a girly type venue too, like a nice Instagrammable venue where you can come and take photos. It was really sick. So I was like, this will just suit an all girls lineup, but you got to cater for your audience. They don't, they follow the page to see your friends, or they follow the page to support you, not other people, which sucked. But then, yeah, we had the after party, and then everyone just went straight there, and it filled up quicker than anything. Like, that whole venue was like just chock-a-block, shoulder to shoulder, and it's like, shit, like, this is, you learn a lot as each one goes. And then we got to the next warehouse party, and that's when I said, we need to budget this. I was like, we've got a budget of this amount, let's not go over it. And it was a bit of a budget event, but at the same time, it turned out just to be just as good. Great little venue, all that sort of stuff. But just learning from all the past ones, making sure the lineup had the boys in it just as much as it had a girl in it, or vice versa. And then making sure we stuck to a budget, making sure it accommodated everyone, and getting there and getting home and all that sort of stuff. So you definitely learn a lot. A lot of reflection comes after it, because I'm like, I like to go and enjoy myself. And I haven't even really gone to one and really sat back and got to drink and party out, because it's just like, it's go time when you're there. And you're always trying to fix issues, or go, how can I make this better, and how can I do that? But just taking a lot of mental notes and stuff from it.
I mean, yeah, that's awesome. Like, how it's all sort of worked out. Yeah, you're never probably going to make money in the first one, because obviously there's all these things you don't know. Like,
Yeah.
you've learnt a lot from having done these 4 ones, but I think there's a lot you've also gained outside of the experiences. Like, these people would be doing all these like Instagram stories and stuff like that. That's like free marketing material that you can use.
Yeah.
And as you've said, like, you've got these connections now in the industry, and people reaching out to you for the hosting of the next one and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, that only comes just by building upon
Yeah,
that.
we used that on one of our events. These girls, I said to them, I was like, look, if you can put up a story of you going to this event, rah, we'll give you 2 free tickets and a free drinks on arrival. So there are like a lot of people where I'll reach out to that I know have like a decent following or X, Y, Z. So yeah, like using the people that you meet at these events is crazy because you get someone like some people walking in with a couple of thousand followers. And you're like, fuck, this is great. Like, have a quick chat with them and get to know them. And if they fit the brand, then get them to do it. If they don't fit the brand, it's kind of like, thanks for coming, but like, I'll find someone that might have 800
Desperate to
well,
like
that's it,
take them
yeah.
on board.
Like I said, I
kind of
want to do
thing.
it all organically. I don't want like 10,000 people that are fake and just follow that person because they do fake shit. Like, I'd rather go and find someone with 800 followers or 700 that will bring 50 people and they're all like genuine people that enjoy the environment. Yeah.
Become raving fans in the future, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely hard these days to build those brands, but I think you've done it very well, very much so organically as well. Like when I did go to the first and many other and this fourth warehouse party, the amount of people that arrive and they're like so passionate and so invested in the brand, that's extremely difficult to do considering you're just selling glasses, right?
Yeah.
So it's the feeling that people get from wearing your glasses and the energy that you bring out, which makes it incredible. And that's very hard to do, and it's amazing to see from your efforts and stuff like that, which is crazy.
But definitely got to stick to it. That's like the biggest thing.
That is
like
a good
even
point.
now, like I've sort of dropped, and I've been saying this for like the last couple of weeks. I've like dropped the ball a lot. Like I think just you get to that holiday end of the year, and you're like, oh, like I can relax, but you can't. Like I haven't done anything, and because I haven't done anything, I haven't sold much, and because I haven't sold much, it's like the business now costs me money because your subscription fees for X, Y, Z. So I was like, oh shit, the moment you drop off, everything else drops off. So now it's like I'm getting back into a focus of like, okay, what can I do to make it a bit bigger, a bit better? Like, now I've fallen in love with running and whatnot. Like I run pretty much every day. And now it's like, okay, we're an accessories brand. Well, why not start a run club? So now I've got we're catering for people that just want to wear sunnies to now people that wear sunnies at raves or love to rave. And now I'm like, since like, I guess Ned Brockman's run across Australia, there's so many run clubs now. Everyone's just running. Like, it's just like crazy. So I'm like, well, I've just fallen in love with it like out of nowhere too. And now it's like, okay, what can I do with my business? I feel like that's the thing too with your business. If you can incorporate your everyday life to do with your business, it's going to go far because like you need to love it. And like, because I'm enjoying running now, it's like, cool, I've got running hats coming, I've got running sunnies coming, I've got, keep the sunnies coming, I've got soft flask vests, running belts, all that sort of stuff. Like I'll never do shoes or anything because there's too much, like, you're never going to compete with Nike, Adidas and stuff, but why not make the little accessory side of things which help a lot of people when they're running, like a running vest you can get from Nike for $160. This is like my biggest thing is I want to make it affordable. Like I could sell that vest for $40 and still make a decent profit off it because and it's going to be the exact same as Nike's. Like, yeah, so that's like my next big venture is going into that now. But then also now doing that, I've got to look after a running side of thing, a party side of thing. It's sort of branching off into a lot of things, but being an accessories brand, you can branch off into a lot of things.
And how do you kind of manage all of that? Because that's hard to do.
Yeah, I'm shit at planning, and time management. Very shit at planning and time management. And that's something I'm getting better at because I still, have a full-time job and then I work at another job occasionally if they need me, and then run this as well. Yeah, like
that's a good question.
Then you have a partner. You got to meet their needs as well. Like it's like
a full-time job, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, and that's it. And you're non-stop. And then the moment you slack off, and the one person I slack off to is usually your partner because you're so tired, and then they're like, "Oh, you don't love me," and it's like, "Oh, fuck, like I do," but just like, give me a break. Like I just want to relax. But you got to be there on the ball constantly, and you can't drop the ball because, like I said, I've dropped the ball in one area now, which is like over Christmas and stuff. I was kind of like, I just want a bit of a break, and then you don't sell anything. So, and then you drop the ball in another area, and it's like, oh, then your relationship goes to shit, or you drop the ball in your work, and then you got to find a new job because I don't want you anymore. So, it's a lot of going on. You just got to be always on, and you never get a time to break. So it's not built for everyone. Like.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back. We just had a little break. Where were we?
Oh yeah. So that's right, we were too. Yeah, so I guess like you know, making the brand go from like the different streams and avenues into stuff, and I've always just incorporated around something that I've enjoyed. Because if you're not enjoying it, then why do it? Like I think that's why, like I was saying earlier as well with the shaker bottle. At the time, I loved going to the gym and whatnot, and I wanted to, but it was something I knew that I wouldn't love forever. So I think that's why I didn't also pursue it. Like it was something like this could work, but that was one of those quick cash grabs, really. Whereas like now, when I'm doing things, it's more of like with the Sunnies, like I love to party, I love to have fun. That's always going to be around and a part of me, no matter what. Um, so it just was one of those things that I just pursued, and I always will pursue. And putting an event together, it's hard, but it's not hard if you know the right people. And I think that's like now, because of the people that I know and that have helped me get to where I've gotten to. Um, if I went missing for a year and just I want to put an event on, like I'd be able to do it pretty.
How did you get those like kind of connections?
Well, like I said, that my friend Jack, he oh, well, I guess like yeah, Jack was being like a very big help, but then also working in the nightclub scene has been a big help too. So obviously Jack was my like boss at retros at the nightclub, and yeah, so basically he knew a lot of reps. I knew reps from working in it, the bar, like a bar during the day, and then obviously because he knew reps, I was hanging out with him.
Combined it all
Kind of just
together.
we got to
Yeah.
new reps, and basically that's what it was. And then even like going to like Hard Fizz, we got through by another DJ. So basically at Skin Deep, we used to go and party at those, and there was this one guy that got on, and I was just yelling at him before he even got on decks, and I was like, "You play something fucking dirty, like you give it to me," and then just from doing that, I think he got a joy off it, and then we got a joy off it because then he played something just fucking like dirty. It was great, and then we didn't really know each other on a name basis straight away, but it was like we followed each other. He started following us back. We started tagging him in like those sort of videos, and then we kind of got talking. Then one day, he started his own little warehouse thing. Well, he owns his own warehouse, and he was doing parties there. And we seen he had like Hard Fizz on board, and we reached out and said like, can we catch up for a meeting? And this, I mean, let's bet people who you know. And you got to take those leaps to get to know people as well. Like, there's other DJs and they know X, Y, Z. You've got to branch out and ask those questions. So we branched out and said, bro, we want to do a party. Like, how do we go? Like, what do you do? And he gave us all the information that we wanted. He didn't hold back. He wasn't holding any secrets, which is great. And he gave us the contacts for who we needed. And yeah, so then we got a hold of who we got a hold of and got them all on board and just asked the question. That's all it was. Like, we're a small town. Do you want to take a risk or take a bet on us? And they know, obviously, because we know who they are as being reps. You built those connections. They're like, mate, you guys are a good bunch of blokes. I'm happy to do that for you. And they just do it. And then, yeah, so it's a lot about who you know and not what you know. Like, because I might not know a lot about X, Y, Z, but I know that person well enough for them to go, no, you're a good bloke. I can teach you that way. So, yeah, that was like one big thing that helped. Yeah.
I think like the whole blank brand, I think there's with the sunglasses and then the events, I think there's lots of like good like interrelated things that people do with the brand as well. It's like with people that buy the Sunny, it's like they sort of go on, an email list that you have, and then like you can promote the next event and say, oh, because like you're a member of like the blank family.
Yeah.
They can get like 10-15% off like the next event or like exclusive access.
Yeah, I haven't done anything like that as of yet. No, we haven't. Because Val over here, he runs his own business too, guys. Shout out Fresh Sense. Give him a follow. If you ever need a website made, hit up Val. No, so yeah, obviously I've known Val for like a very long time. And when I started the business, had a website. It was shit, dog shit. And Val reached out to me like he was just starting his own thing and said, "Oh, can I do your website for you?" I was like, "Sure, why not? Like, I'll take as much help as I can get at the time. Like, it's always good to have those people that know. Like I said, it's who you know and what they're willing to give you can help you get to places as well." And yeah, so Val's done my website, and usually I just go to him about like things like that, like mailing and all that sort of stuff. So marketing, so I think I know shit all, and if I've got an idea, I'll ask Val if it's possible, and he'll go, yep, no worries, and we'll sit on the computer together and we'll make that happen. So Val's been like a very big help in the media, in the website and like that side of things, the marketing side of things. Like even when I wanted to do a marketing campaign, I had no idea. I just gave Val the idea, and we've done. I think we did marketing on the last one.
Because on my way here, I was stuck in bumper traffic on my way.
The good old Gold Coast traffic these days.
Traffic.
I was listening to Alex Mosey's $100 offers just about 3 or 4 times now. I was I'll ask Steve if he's like considered this for his business or not. Like one of the ideas I had, and obviously it's your space. I was just curious what you thought of the idea. Is with Blake, you've got the sunglasses brand, and then you've got the event space. It's like when they bought the Sunnies, they're now part of the Blake family. You know, you have their email, and then you can promote to them the next event, like exclusive access, and then like first 50 or first 10 or 50 people that sign up get access to the exclusive VIP after party, and these sort of things. Like you can make it a highly select or exclusive event, or things like that, which generates you more money, generates more interest in the event.
Yeah.
Because they have the Sunnies, and that like most of their friends, they should get on it as well.
Yeah.
And they sort of like feed off each other in a way. Like
Yeah.
you go to events, we got the Sunnies, and then you can sort of just like keep sort of cross promoting. It's like a flywheel that just sort of keeps going.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's definitely like a good thing to think about. Like what, just because someone might like the events, you can still market them about like the next few things I've got planned. Like obviously like, and that's probably the best thing I've made. It's blank accessories. So like, it doesn't just have to be accessories. It can be events, or it can be, and all, the accessories can go off to all different things. I could do gym accessories. I could do like event stuff, or I can do running. I can do anything
Whatever,
really. So
yeah.
like it can take me. I can do jewelry eventually if I really want to get into that. Go to streetwear. I can do all that sort of stuff. So eventually, like it will get to a bigger thing. Like blank will become its own like thing, and it will just be all the different pillars, and you can advertise everything. So like you might come to the warehouse party, that might get you $10 off a pair of Sunnies at the event, or XYZ. So I think there's a going forward, and after I nail the things that I want to nail, and then going, okay, cool, I can then now afford to get a team in and all that sort of stuff, and then go, okay, you're just going to be in charge of this. And that's like the biggest thing too. Like I had those visions, I had those goals, and it's just like you think you're going to make money really, really quick, but sometimes you don't. And like I said, I had like my mate Jack, like I had, mate, you're going to be in charge of all events and XYZ, and just the events, like I said, like the first one I spent way too much money on. The other ones they went really well, and it's just kind of hard because you get so far, and he can see how much effort and how much goes into it, and you get such a little return. It's kind of disheartening, and like it's working with your friends and stuff. Sometimes it does cause a little bit of confliction, because at the end of the day, like he's putting his hard time and effort into it for nothing, or a potential like gig, or that whatever, and like you can thank him and you can say everything, but sometimes it's not enough, and then that can cause ripples in friendships and stuff like that. Yeah. So Jack and I are still good friends and whatnot, but like it's just you just know that's a bit. There's something we need to talk about, but that's another conversation for another day. But they always say don't get in business with your friends, and I've sort of learnt that as well. So there's a lot of things you learn, and like so I know that answers your question, but
the business is a marathon and sprint, right?
Oh,
Like, and even if everything was all packed up tomorrow, I think you'd come away with so many different learnings from this whole year and a half that you've been running everything. That whatever, if you not look like you great all up, you can take all this knowledge and things that you've gained, sort of power that into the next venture, or however you want to get moved forward with playing stuff.
I think that's it. Just planning. Got a good few things planned, and just stick to those and get it all going. But and just keep learning. I don't think you can ever not learn enough. So, and taking advice. I take a lot of advice from everyone. I always ask a lot of questions and like listen to what they have to say. And sometimes I just take that risk as well. I love to take risks. Like I said, it's all about being yourself, and I'm a risk taker, and I'll do just crazy shit to get what I want to get out of it. So
I love it. Well, on that note, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
being
for
on
having
the podcast. It was
recurring guest in the future.
Yeah,
For
whenever you guys need me. I know
sure.
there's, like I said to you boys before, like there's a lot information on here that we probably didn't go into that other people might want to go a bit more into, like, you know, the relationships built and or like how do I get this and how do I get that. So yeah, if you ever get any questions that you want to know more on, I'm happy to jump
it.
back on, help you out.
Sounds good. Well, thank you again, and will you subscribe? Till next time.
Thank you.
Bye.